Yo, what is up, programs? Welcome to The Grid, episode 190. Actually, Aaron, not just the programs. We're actually on the live feed this week. I forgot.
Wide.
We put super glue on a B and it died.
But white out on B's.
Was it white out? I don't remember.
Yeah, we got cell phones. Gloves.
Black leather gloves. Welcome everybody back to your ever so often preview of The Grid, which is our weekly bonus episode that we give to our supporters of the Oblivion Bar podcast. So you get this every single Friday from Aaron and I. Usually last about a half an hour, but much like this episode, I'm assuming it will probably be a little bit longer. So Aaron, I haven't even said your name yet. Joining me is my best friend in the entire world and my co-host, Aaron Knowles.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Okay, a lot of things on the docket this week, Aaron. As we said, we were talking a little bit before the recording here, and there's just so many things that we want to discuss. We're recording this on December 31st, so Wednesday at 4 p.m. We're literally the day of
Happy
New Year's.
New Year's.
Yes, so this is the final recording of 2025 and the last bit of Oblivion Bar that you'll get in 2025. So
yeah, it's okay to say. It's okay to say 2025. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, I just posted a little thing on our Instagram, a sort of like a recap of the year. And it was a great year for us. Like if you were to just put our nerd blinders on and only focus on what happened with the Oblivion Bar, incredible year. Best year of our entire existence.
I want to see it.
Oh, you're about to pull it up right now?
I want to see it.
Make sure you mute it because there's music attached to it. But yeah, I
My
mean,
phone is always muted. I don't know if you know this. It's always muted.
Yeah, but outside of like the nerd of it all, this has been a really challenging year for a lot of different reasons. I mean, mostly the political climate is not incredible. The state of the world is possibly worse. And maybe that's just our old pessimism sort of coming to the forefront, Aaron. It seems like we are a lot more apt to talk about real world things here on The Grid than we normally are. And hopefully that's not a deterrent for people to come join us here on Patreon, because it is mostly fun. It is mostly just like, as we've said on the normal show, the Oblivion Bar After Dark. But it does seem like we're more apt to like talk about real things. So are you looking through the post right now?
Some good pictures, man.
Yeah.
Some good pictures.
What are you seeing there?
I'm seeing obviously you with Brian K. Vaughan. I'm seeing you with us. Some of our favorite interviews, me in front of the Tron Ares board in front of Times Square, our panels, me with Danny Earls, the man, the myth, the legend, me coddling you,
yes,
in my against my breast,
as we often do,
constantly.
It's a common occurrence.
Erica Fett's there. It's a great finish with there's a photo of us at our New York Comic Con panel with all of our freebies that we gave away. Just a good photo, good family fun.
Shout out to Carly for taking that photo too, from a distance too. She was
from a distance,
from about 10 feet away. So, okay, where should we start? Again, long list of things to talk about. I think the first thing that we should talk about is the Doomsday teasers.
Well, I would just like to interject one thing before we get into Doomsday.
Yeah.
If you are interested in that post, if you've seen something you're curious about, like some of these things about that happened throughout 2025, get ready for our last call awards. Because that's going to be like our final thing of the 2025 year, kind of wraps everything up. And so listening to this, you should be aware or prepared for that to imminently fall onto the timeline, and get ready to listen to it, because that covers our entire year, our most anticipated films, our favorites, our biggest stinkers of the year. It's basically the Oblivion Bar Podcasts Awards of 2025.
Yeah, it's like our Oscars, right?
Yeah.
And we're putting it out late. Aaron, we were talking earlier this week, and I was sort of frustrated with myself because I wanted to get this episode, the Last Call Awards, out before the end of the year. I actually wanted to put it out today, actually, December 31st, excuse me. Final day of 2025, so people can sort of like hear about our favorites. Again, as you said, favorite television series, favorite movies, favorite comic artist, favorite comic writer, favorite comic books, all the things, favorite Oblivion Bar episode, all the things that we often talk about. But life happens. And one of the things, if you remember back to our Last Call Awards last year, Aaron, we sort of went through some of our goals for that following year.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I put on my list, my own personal list, was not to put so much pressure on the show and myself to like
Yes.
meet these serious deadlines that only exist in my head.
which I feel other than our Guest Fest
Mm-hmm.
or
Or
Interview-a-thon
interview-a-thon.
2025. Other than that, you did a great job throughout this year.
Yeah. Try not to put so much pressure on our weird, silly show that we've been doing now for 5 years, going on 6 years in April. So
It's not silly.
it's silly. It's silly. It's serious and silly. It's the two main S's, right? It's actually three S's. It's silly, silly, serious, and sexy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I was waiting for like some kind of other S or a rebuttal to that, but no, I think we got it.
I'm gonna leave it the way because it was beautifully said, my friend.
S cubed. Aaron, I'm going to share with you an article I found here on the Hollywood Reporter, and it basically covers this this recent teaser trailer for Doomsday. This week we found a new release from Marvel Studios of the Thor trailer. So we've already gotten the Captain America, Steve Rogers, or I guess I should just call him Steve Rogers because currently Sam Wilson is Captain America. So Steve Rogers will return in Doomsday. We've been getting these trailers. Well, they've been leaking online 2 weeks before we actually get them, but then they eventually release them and we can talk about them. So one of them was the Thor trailer that came out this last Tuesday, I want to say. And it's basically in the same ilk as that Captain America Steve Rogers trailer, which is it's about a 45-second long trailer where it's sort of showing where we find Thor going into Doomsday, which comes out December 18th, 2026. And in this, we have Thor basically in the woods praying to Odin, and Odin that passed away 2 movies ago in Thor Ragnarok. And he says, "Lend me your strength of all the odd." Let me try that again. "Lend me the strength of the All-Fathers so that I may fight once more, defeat one more enemy, and return home to her being his daughter and from Thor Love and Thunder, who is actually played by his daughter, India Rose Hemsworth, who is actually the adopted daughter of, Gore the God Butcher. Why was that escaping me? Jason Aaron's Thor run is one of my all-time favorites, and it's, my goodness, that just adds to the craziness of the end of this year. But, he continues on, "Not as a warrior, but as warmth to teach her not battle, but stillness, the kind I never knew." So, yeah. Well, I guess in comparison, Aaron, what were your thoughts on this to the first Steve Rogers trailer? Are you liking these? Are these worth it to you? What are your thoughts?
They're interesting. They mean really just about nothing. They're like, obviously it's cool to see Chris Evans coming back. Obviously I love that, but overall,
are you talking about Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, or
Steve Rogers?
Okay. All right. Well, I was just curious because we're talking about Chris Hemsworth. I wasn't sure if you got your Chris's messed up.
Well, no, because
4 in this universe.
They're all, but there's like, so you got Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, you got Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Odin's son, another. And then you have what was the other one? So there's also the one we saw with Magneto with Optic Blast.
Whoa. We have to give people a spoiler because that hasn't technically come out yet. So I guess that's okay. I mean, I do want to talk about it. So Aaron, should we say spoilers really quick?
Sorry. Yeah. Spoiler alert. There is another one that will be coming out. I apologize. Sorry. Yeah. Jesus, I hate spoilers. I apologize.
I don't care anymore with these. Like, that's part of the reason why I'm sharing with you too, is like, these teasers and the spoiling of them, quote unquote, is kind of silly because as we said, they come online 2 weeks before they actually hit the interwebs. Yeah. And 2, they're teaser trailers. Okay.
They don't mean anything. Like, we already know these people are in the movie. Like, we already know. So it's like, meh, wow. Now, again, they're kind of like innocuous, so they don't give anything away. However, I read an article on our favorite fan site, Geek Tyrant.
Yep.
And it is saying that there's some rumors from the Russo brothers, from obviously around the interwebs, just stating that this could be a complete misdirect. Like, these could be like, and that's the other thing, is we're not sure who's, and I had a funny theory. Can I share a theory with you recently? What if, and hear me out, okay? What if Dr. Doom only is being played by Robert Downey Jr. only because he made himself to look like Robert Downey Jr.?
Like the actor Robert Downey Jr. or is he making himself to look like Tony Stark?
Like Tony Stark.
There are rumors. We keep talking about rumors that are from like a corner of a room in the middle of a boys and girls club. Like they have no weight behind them.
Yeah.
There has been a rumor that at the beginning of Doomsday, when Victor shows himself for the first time to a lot of the heroes, they sort of like let their guard down and like, oh my God, it's freaking Tony. He's back. Welcome back to the team, Tony. We've got incursions happening. But then Victor's like, excuse me, I'm not this Tony that you're speaking of. And then he like kills someone or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I think it's gonna be very apparent to the heroes in the movie that this person, while not Tony Stark, very much looks like Tony Stark. Like they're going to be aware of that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the only reason I was thinking is because maybe like during, with his abilities, maybe he's looked and he's able to see through these incursions. Maybe he's seen that because they lost Tony in this massive event, maybe this is the way in to getting them all to trust him because he is the Tony from a different, maybe quote unquote, again, he understands multiverses. So maybe he's using this disguise to get into their good graces, and then he's going to flip the script.
That's one possibility for sure. I have a theory, and then I want to talk about this trailer that you just spoiled for everybody a moment ago. My theory, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I think we have actually, but I just want to reshare it for the public feed, I guess, is that my running theory for this movie is that the movie starts off with this version of Victor Von Doom basically on a plane, and he is actually Tony Stark. Like in this universe, he is Tony Stark, and he and his parents are flying, and something happens. Maybe it's an incursion, maybe something just randomly happens, and it drops this plane out of the sky, and it kills Anthony and Maria Stark in that moment. And baby Tony Stark is found by the Von Dooms out in the woods, right? And he is raised to believe that he is Victor Von Doom, and that his mother and his father, his mother specifically, teaches him the way of witchcraft and all these things. She eventually is killed the way she is killed. I don't know if it's going to happen the same way as it does in the comics, but then he is raised by his father, who is eventually killed as well. Point being is that this Victor Von Doom doesn't know that he's Tony Stark. And then he doesn't realize that until he meets the other heroes. What are your thoughts?
I'm just wondering so the plane crash.
Yeah.
In your theory, like I'm jumping off of your theory here. In the plane crash, what if something that has occurred recently in recent films causes this crash, or maybe an incursion, maybe something from Kang, maybe something from
Galactus.
Galactus, the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Like something like going through these, like the portals, like dimension hopping incursions, something is the reason that it causes the plane to crash, which then puts Tony / Victor on this path to either, like, because what is his overall goal? Is it to just attain power? Is it to bring his mother, both his parents back? Is it to, because again, the goal will be to somehow, oh man.
Well, this actually, real quick, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but this actually ties into why Steve Rogers is in this movie. Because again, rumors be damned, right? There's a rumor that Victor Von Doom, the reason why Steve Rogers is in this movie is because Victor Von Doom is after him. Because when Steve Rogers went back in time to return the Infinity Stones and stayed back in the past, in this new past that's not his, like he has basically created an incursion because he stayed back in the past with Peggy and just didn't know it. So maybe while Steve Rogers is bopping around time and space, he accidentally bumps into this timeline, I'm forgetting the Earth that the Fantastic Four takes place in. And this is also assuming that this Victor Von Doom is from the same universe as the Fantastic Four from the movie we saw from First Steps. Maybe while he's doing all that, he actually hits this plane out of the sky and it drops Victor. I mean, the timeline would sort of match up if Robert Downey Jr. at the age that he's currently at, which I want to say is maybe early 60s, possibly late 50s, he would be a child around the time of the late 60s, around 69. So again, this is a lot of like red herrings and grasping at straws and reaching, but I think like this could make sense. And again, Aaron,
Charlie Day in front of the board with the strings and the yarn in the picture.
Right.
It's just like, No, I like it because I mean I didn't know that he would be after him, but like again, we also know that we already know that he's after Franklin as well. So how is Franklin going to be the stepping stone to get to Galactus? How is Steve Rogers a part of that if he's going after him? Is he simply going after him because he wants to know the secrets of time travel or the secrets of dimension hopping or space and time hopping? Maybe that's it. Maybe who knows? We have so much and we still have a year to go. So there's a lot to wait for. Apparently Super Bowl, we're supposed to get
just
potentially
under
a trailer.
Just under a year.
It's 364.
It's like 360 days until.
Yeah. So maybe I guess we're supposed to get an actual trailer.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that
Bowl.
up. The Super Bowl is supposed to have like the full teaser trailer, and again, that's perspective. Like it's a Twitter account saying this, but also, Aaron, before we move on, tell the people again. You mentioned a moment ago, there is again major spoilers, everybody.
Oh yes.
There's a third teaser that has leaked online. I do want to talk about it because I think it's the best of these three that we've seen thus far. So tell people what happens in that.
Well, I don't remember it's like shot by shot, but I do know that we see. It's being like narrated by Professor Xavier Patrick Stewart. I think so. Is it or is it because it? Okay, it's either that or it's what's his name? The guy who plays Magneto. I forget it. I forget
Ian
his
McKellen.
name. Ian McKellen. Yeah.
Yep.
And so you're basically there's like I don't know if somebody's walking through. Somebody might be walking through, but it's kind of like a little tour of the Xavier mansion that's obviously been destroyed, been burned down, something. We don't know what's occurred in this universe or in this place, but this is an Earth where the Xavier Institute has been destroyed. And you see at one point there's Patrick Stewart as Xavier and he's sitting there in his wheelchair. You see the wheels with his X on it, like rolling around. And then you see a chessboard and then one of the chess pieces lifts up. And then you see Ian McKellen as Magneto kind of looking very old, very disheveled, long hair, and kind of sitting in a chair and he smiles. And then you also see Cyclops. I forget who the actor's name is. You probably
James Marsden.
James Marsden. Yes. You see Cyclops and he's in his actual X-Men.
He's got the belt. He's got the chest
97.
belt on.
He's got the chest belt, the visor. It looks amazing. And he's going full optic blast. Like something devastating is happening. And this I feel like this could be potentially like a flashback to what happened to the Institute.
Yeah, very possibly. Or Doom has showed up at that universe and has done something to either sacrifice this universe. I think ultimately, everybody, I think that's what I think this first movie, Doomsday, is going to do. Is it's going to destroy the X-Men Fox universe for good. That way we never have to bring Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, any of these folks back, right? And this also brings up an interesting idea of Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. This dude has also been hopping around universes. Is he also creating? Is he? What do they call that? They talk about it in Doctor Strange.
Oh,
they talk about it in Deadpool. He's an anchor being.
Yeah.
Yes. So is he the anchor
Loki.
being? Is he destroying universes just by existing in the 616 universe? So a lot of things. Again, I'm tempering expectations and excitement because, you know, as we've said multiple times here on the show, the MCU has to earn our excitement back. But I think regardless, as we said a moment ago, this X-Men teaser, it's the best. And I'm a longtime Slim fan. I think Cyclops has gotten a lot of bad rep because he is a Boy Scout and he is the team leader. He's not the cool guy going against the grain a la Logan, but I think like we need more Cyclops in this world today. I think someone who's willing to do the hard business and follow the rules.
But I also want him portrayed as somebody who is a troubled leader, like someone who's thrust into leadership role, who I want somebody to uphold like a new version, but it's still like a classical version with some new twists of him being the troubled leader. We don't have enough of that. I think that's something that again, we need characters now more than ever that are relatable, that are obviously heroic, brave, will get the job done, but are much like us and still struggle with what is being asked of them because it may feel like too much. You know, they say that greatness is not something that you choose. Like greatness is thrust upon you and you have to live up to it. So
as is leadership. Leadership
as
is not
leadership. Yeah.
You don't seek out leadership. You are given it by against your will almost.
Yeah. And so for I think, again, like I said, this day and age, we need more people to set that example, because again, it is very hard to step out of the shadow and become the focal point of to become your own main character.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll do it for our doomsday speculation, everybody. We'll learn more as we go on. I'm sure, we'll have mini grids in between now and February, whenever the Super Bowl happens. So if anything leaks, we'll let you know, and we'll give you that warning. But Aaron, I want to go through a couple comments that we got from some of our programs. And this is, of course, everybody, as you're listening to this on the normal feed, a perk of being a Patreon member is that you can just ask us a question, like literally anything. Send us a voice memo, send us a comment on Instagram, a DM.
It doesn't even have to be a question or a comment. You could tell us to fuck right off. You could tell us to be like to go, eat a bag of dicks or something. Like just,
Do you want us to pull out each dick individually? Do you want us to suck on the bag, like the outside of the bag? Like, you just got to be specific.
How
and we'll do it.
Clean do you want the bag?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know how to properly transition from that, but we'll move on to here. One of our new patrons. Well, quick correction, and then we'll move on to one of our new patrons, Brian. Last week on episode 189, we were talking about how Brian joined the Patreon. Thank you again, Brian, for joining us. And I mentioned, I said in passing, we were joined by a friend at lunch that week when we were talking about the show. And I forgot that Tyler Markley, he has a program. I totally spaced that Tyler's actually on the Patreon. So public apologies, public correction, Tyler. Appreciate you, of course, for being here on the Patreon and listening to the show and all the things. So just wanted to make that correction firstly. But then secondly, Brian, he actually had a comment on a previous Grid episode. This is going back to episode 184, Aaron, from back at the end of November. So Brian is going backwards and listening to older Grid episodes.
Good job, Brian. Thank you. Thanks for doing your homework.
That. And Aaron, if you remember, and I'm sure programs remember this, but we were getting in our feels about just sort of the trials and tribulations of the world around us in that episode. And Brian, he left a comment and said, I really appreciate you both opening up and being vulnerable in this episode. Far too often people share the same feelings you talked about and never say them out loud. Anyone who knows me knows I'm very in tune with my emotions, so I really resonate with this. I just wanted to say thank you for speaking on this subject. So again, Brian, we appreciate it. And also, I think we actually got a couple comments that week even from people who were just like, hey, we appreciate you just saying what you're thinking. So
yeah, I mean, it's our pleasure. We have to, like Chris and I, like, again, we started this show and this Patreon because this is literally two best friends who are like just friends talking about whatever's going on in their world. And, it just happened to start expanding slowly as a podcast and into a Patreon and into family, friendship, community, and for us, nothing's changed. I mean, I'm going to continue to tell you, like, I tell you guys all the time. I tell Chris all the time, like, if something's bothering me, I've cried during episodes. I've cried during this, and I've laughed. We often reveal things that are very personal to us, and I don't think we'd have it any other way because we are just who we are, and I don't see Aaron on the podcast as like a personality. This isn't like a radio show. This isn't like, Big Chris and Aaron.
Playing all the hits.
Playing all the hits weekdays at 5 p.m. on your commute
90s,
home.
2000s.
Yes. No, like this is just two friends who are basically just increasing our friendship circle and chatting about stuff. That's why we welcome your guys' input so much, is because we care about what you guys have to say. And it's awesome to know that you guys care about what we have to say or what we're feeling or what we're going through. So from me to all of you guys, and I'm sure I can speak for Chris, thank you for reaching back out and letting us know that it means something, that it matters. We have no plans to change, even if it didn't matter, or even if you didn't like it.
Actually, Aaron, I'll go against the grain here. Don't tell us your feelings at all. Keep that shit to yourself. All right, everybody.
Chris, shut up.
Talking to you, Mac. All right, quit getting our DMs and crying. All right. No, I'm kidding. Speaking of programs, though, we also had Sebastian reach out to us from last week, 189. He says, guys, the new Avatar is pretty fun. It's exactly the story as the second one, but the Colonial is really fucking funny this time. Oh, Colonial. I apologize. Colonel. I apologize. So yes. So he's talking about, Sebastian's talking about Avatar Fire and Ash, which Aaron and I both said we had no interest in seeing. We have covered the first, we covered the second one here on the show. I don't think we covered the first one, But
I'll watch it, Sebastian. I'll watch it just because you said so.
Yep.
He's gotten us some of the best like movies to add to our list. So I gotta trust him. I gotta trust the guy.
Yep. And then Joe Loves Comics. Shout out to Joe for his patronage as well. He just said on episode 189, he commented and said, "Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, guys. All the best to everyone here on the grid." So thank you, Joe. We appreciate you and your support here on the show and just listening to, just all the, not just the support on Patreon, but also just all the engagement on social media and such. So speaking of that whiny baby Mac over in New Zealand, Aaron, we had a DM here from him on Instagram, and I wanted to share it with you.
Be nice to him.
I'm just kidding.
Our Kakapo.
Yeah, Kakapo. Yeah, our Kiwi Kakapo. He says, "I'm interested to know both of your absolute rankings. I'm a dirty, rotten trade waiter." Hey, Mac, as am I. No worries on that one. I am also a dirty trade waiter. So I've only read the first volumes of all, including Flash, so far. Here is his ranking, Aaron. He says, Wonder Woman is his favorite, then Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, and Absolute Green Lantern. Now, he doesn't mention the Flash. Oh, I'm sorry. He excludes the Flash. I apologize. He hasn't read Jeff Lemire's Flash. So he continues on. I know Flash, let me start that over. Everybody, common occurrence here on the show, if this is your first time listening, I can't read. As someone who is reading often, for some reason, I can't read out loud. I don't know why that is, but he says, I know Superman being that high is a hot take, but I love it. And I think Batman being so low is probably due to it being so hyped up so much. By the time I read it, my expectations were sky high. By the way, I love all of these books. I don't know any of them. I don't think any of them are even low as average. So he's saying that basically the lowest, even though Green Lantern and Batman are near the bottom of his list, he says they're all still pretty good. So Aaron, I'm just curious, what is your ranking for the Absolute Universe? Well,
sadly, I have not read any of the Green Lantern.
Okay. That's a missed opportunity. That's pretty good. I like it.
Okay. I am currently working on different universes. Right now, as you know, Chris and I spoke slightly before the show, and he was like, what are you, like anything you want to talk about? And I was like, well, the only thing I can think about, for as far as comics really is that I have been reinvesting time into the Energon universe and catching up on that. So last night,
give me your best Transformer sound.
There we go. Yeah. So I finished up, or I got caught up with Void Rivals. I was obviously working on Transformers, then the G.I. Joes, and you got a bunch of like one-offs in there. But I will say this, I am pretty much caught up all on Absolute Batman. Nice. And that does not stop being amazing. It slaps. It slaps. I need to pick up, there's an Arc M one shot coming out that I want to pick up that looks really good. However, I will say this, it is a close tie for me between Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman. Yeah. Batman is a little bit higher. Absolute Wonder Woman is definitely second place. I would have to say that Martian Manhunter is third, and then Flash, and then Green Lantern. And I think that's
Superman.
Superman's gone. He's not even on my list.
You haven't read any of it yet?
I read like 3 issues, and it's like I couldn't really get into it. I'll have to give it another shot. I had a hard time.
It's the driest of entries for sure of all of them.
Yeah, like his suit is like has its own autonomy. There's like I don't get it so much. So I apologize if I'll definitely give it more of a shot. I just have not found that interesting thing that's drawing me into it like I have with Wonder Woman and Batman. And Martian Manhunter is just a mind fuck.
It's probably the densest of all of these. Like it's the one that it's the most challenging, but that's also why it's my favorite. So to go into my ranking, it's Absolute Martian Manhunter. It's my favorite.
Artistically, it is. I mean, besides some of the cool art that's in Batman, artistically, Martian Manhunter is. I mean, honestly, really, those 3. Wonder Woman is incredible.
Well, they're all trying to be different things, right? Yeah. Like they are not at all. That's the best thing about the Absolute Universe is that DC and the DC editorial team of the Absolute Universe has basically just given the keys to all of these creators and said, do what you want.
Exactly.
We are all winning because of it. And it maybe hopefully adds a little credence to the idea that if you give creative, smart people the bandwidth and sort of the leg room to do what they want, they will do really interesting, fun things. So
and again, I gotta say this, you guys gotta go follow your favorite like Absolute creators like those that are involved, because constantly, I know, like Scott Snyder's one of the best because he literally shares everything about the Absolute Universe and from DC. So I'm seeing the art, the ideas behind Absolute Poison Ivy, Absolute Harley Quinn, Absolute Zatanna, all of these characters that we're getting ready to see, and it's incredible to see, what they look like beforehand, and then to see the different versions, like the different artistic renderings from different artists. Like I just saw Mark Brooks, he just posted that he's doing his own cover for Absolute Poison Ivy, or for the Batman that reveals Poison Ivy. It looks incredible. And then the other thing that was really beautiful or really awesome was what was it? It was in my brain. Now it's gone.
Darn.
You say something. I'll think about it.
Okay. Absolute Martian Manhunter is my favorite. What I think Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez, that book it's not only one of the best DC books, it's one of the best books of the year, in my opinion. And then it probably goes Absolute Batman, because I agree. It just hits. I mean, it's silly and it's brain candy and it's like way over the top, but it's Scott Snyder. Like that's what he does. I mean, he has evolved this character, this absolute I shouldn't just say him, and Nick Dragotta as well.
Yeah.
And Jock with the Joker stuff. It's just been great. I mean, like they are basically just saying, what if we just did the craziest shit? They're taking, and I know
fucking love it.
I am not the first to say this, and I think this is also adds to why it's so popular. They are just manga-fying absolute. That's a very simplified way of looking at it, but they're basically just, they're not afraid to be over the top. And I think like it kind of is seen as uncool sometimes with like Western audiences to just be like, this is so Batman. Like he even says Batman, was he Batman AF at one point in the series? Like he is just, it's very silly. It's very dad rock band. Like it's like a dad and his friends in a garage playing the hits,
But it's obviously killing it because fucking Absolute Batman #1 just got like what 10th printing?
Yeah. And the first pressing of the first issue is going for like $200+ So
yeah. I remember what I was going to say is somebody commented, and that's the thing. Scott Snyder is amazing with social media. He's got an amazing social media team as well. And somebody commented on a post that they were like, or they said, Absolute Freeze gone too soon. Mm-hmm. And Scott Snyder's on his social media responded with, he'll be back.
Nice. Good friend of the show, Danny Earls, did some great covers for those two issues too.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see more of that. I mean, that whole like Arkham plot line with Bane and all that, like it's incredible. So Absolute Martian Manhunter, Batman, Absolute Batman. I'm going to say it's close between Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Flash for me, because I really like what Jeff Lemire is doing with the Flash. So I think it's probably, I don't want to just seem like a contrarian here. So I'll say Absolute Wonder Woman. It is great. I mean, Hayden Sherman, Kelly Thompson, incredible. So Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Flash. I'll say it's great, everybody, if you haven't checked it out. And then very similar to what Mac is saying here, none of these are bad. I would say it's probably Absolute Green Lantern for me next. What Al Ewing and team are doing over there with Joe Mullins, like making her sort of the central Green Lantern is really cool. And then making Hal Jordan. It's been really cool, Aaron. I know you don't know this because you don't read a ton of Green Lantern books, but it's been like the cool thing to make Hal Jordan the dick and sort of like the antagonist the last like 25 years in Green Lantern comics. And they continue on with that. Like he is the Black Hand in this first arc of Green Lantern. And so he's like the bad guy, essentially, but sort of like a sort of like a sympathetic villain because it's not really his fault, right? So, and then Superman, same with you. I love Jason Aaron. I think it's well documented here on the show. Big Jason Aaron fan, good friend of the show. Been on the show a couple times. Just not really hitting it for me, but again, I'm willing to be wrong and I'm willing to go back and try again.
Absolutely. So, and that's the same thing for me. Like I've only read a small fraction, I think maybe one issue of Absolute Flash.
Yeah.
And I loved what I saw. It just didn't catch me at the right time. And I had other things to read. So I just kind of put it down. Doesn't mean it's not good. It just means it hasn't caught me at the right time. So so I definitely will take the time to go back and catch up and make sure that I'm giving its due, doing my due diligence.
Right. So yeah, that's pretty much how the Absolute universe is shaping up for Aaron and I right now. And Aaron, we were talking briefly, we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but I just want to point out that we also have what I'm really excited for is the DC Next Level that's coming out early next year, which is basically just the initiative by, is it Next Level? Yeah, Next Level, where it's basically an initiative from DC where they're giving miniseries to a bunch of characters that haven't gotten a series in a while or have never gotten like a series. So like a couple that come to mind immediately is like Scotty Young is doing a Lobo miniseries, which is really cool. It's I want to say it's Jorge Corona is doing the art on that, which is really cool. And then you also have Batwoman's getting a series with the last Batwoman run that was like celebrated was Greg Rucka, his run from like the 2010s. He is coming back to write Batwoman.
Ooh,
and
nice.
it's who's the artist on this? It is Danny, who I've seen, but I don't know their work very well. It's DANI. Then we have Deathstroke is getting a series from Tony Fleece and Carmine G. Domenico, who I'm not familiar with, but more Deathstroke, please. Right. So there's a ton of them. Like there's a Zatanna, like you said, is getting one. Mariko Tamaki is doing a series. Jamal Campbell, James Harden, Kyle Higgins. Let's see here. Dennis Camp, speaking of which, is going to be doing a series as well. So anyway, point being is that we're going to be eating good. It seems like DC editorials got their shit together, and they're going to continue to get their shit together, keep their shit going into 2026. So, Aaron,
Well, they have to because they got to crush Marvel because Marvel ain't doing dick right now.
Is 2026 the year that DC takes over Marvel completely? Like not only with movies, but with the comics as well. I mean, like I feel like 2025 was the year of DC Comics in terms of comics, right? But like Superman was great, right? Creature Commandos was great. Peacemaker season 2 was great. So, and then like on the flip side, MCU, I mean, Thunderbolts I liked.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was fine. Captain America: Brave New World was an absolute atrocity. So,
up there, it's their time. Down here, it's our time.
That's right. As above, so below, as some would say. So, Aaron, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to sort of cap this last grid of the year by talking about my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Is that cool? Really quickly. Can I take that time?
I want to cap my side by talking about a couple of shows and a couple of games that I played.
Okay. All right. So very, very briefly, this is my top 10 list going into the end of the year, and I won't watch any other movies, for the rest of the year. So unless I sneak a movie in the next 2 hours. So, all right. So honorable mentions go to The Life of Chuck and Companion. So Aaron, did you see either one of those? You saw Companion, right?
Yes. And The Life of Chuck, that's the one with Ben
Tom
Stiller?
Hiddleston. Nope.
Oh, Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston. Yeah.
Didn't see that one.
It's a Stephen King short story adapted. It's Mike Flanagan from Dr. Sleep fame. So anyway, it's great. It's basically just like, what's the famous line in that? Gosh, we contain multitudes. That's the famous line from that movie, is that like, it's basically about this kid from multiple points in his life and how, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say, I think to say any more would to not only butcher it, but also ruin possibly parts of the movie. So
I am making a list of the things that you're suggesting right now.
Life of Chuck definitely needs to be on that list. Number 10, Ghost of Frankenstein, the Guillermo del Toro Netflix movie with Oscar
I thought
Isaac,
you said
Christopher Lloyd.
goes to Frankenstein. I thought you said Ghost of Frankenstein, and I'm like,
What? There's a Ghost of Frankenstein. What?
didn't see that one.
There were 2 Frankenstein movies this year. One from
Yes.
Luc why am I spacing?
Besson?
Besson, Jesus. Luc Besson, and then Guillermo
I
del
thought it
Toro.
was Dracula.
It is. I'm sorry. Yes, it was Dracula. It was two Dracula movies, I guess, in 2025. Because
Chris,
what?
get it together.
Sorry, there was Nosferatu at the end of last year, going into this year. Number 9 is Black Bag. That's the Steven Soderbergh movie with Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. It's basically Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but they're spies and they're better at their job than the other 2 that we saw from the 2000s. It's great. It's sexy. It's smart. It's just great. Like I think of the movies that I list out, it'll be the one that I think most people haven't seen. So go watch Black Bag if you haven't seen it. I think it's on HBO Max. So number 8, Weapons, who we talked about it here on the show with our good friend Erica Fett. It's the Zach Kreger film. where what happens when a bunch of kids go missing, what happens to a town, fear mongering, incel culture, right? Crazy eyed Benedict Wong
I still believe
and hot dogs.
and hot dogs. I still believe that movie was a allegory for gun violence.
You're right. And also other things. Like it's
Yes.
a lot of things. I think you brought that up in
I
the
s-
conversation.
I saw some great costumes of people. They made like these bug eyes and like in a wig,
Oh, yeah.
and like they were like running around. I'm gonna do that at a convention.
What I have a theory, and I can't take credit for this, but because I heard this somewhere and it made too much sense, that Zach Krager had a dream about a bunch of kids just running out of a bunch of kids running out of the house in the middle of the night, and he just made a movie around it. Like that makes sense to me. Like the imagery of that is horrific, and he just like made a movie, you know?
Interesting. Yeah.
Another movie that I think probably not a lot of people saw, but I loved was Caught Stealing by Darren Aronofsky. The Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz film. Matt Smith is great. He plays like a Cockney British dude with a mohawk in 2025. This
Very
movie takes
Matthew
place.
Lillard.
Yes, yeah. Actually, sorry, no, this takes place in the 90s. I don't know why I thought it was in modern day, but it's great. It's basically Austin Butler is a bartender and he's got a girlfriend and a bunch of shit happens is basically the long and short of it. Also, Vincent D'Onofrio and Liev Schreiber show up in the movie in this really very funny, unorthodox Jews, sort of crime boss types, and they're hilarious. So definitely, Aaron, I don't know if you've seen that one, but it was great.
Not yet. It's on my list.
Well, one that you have seen, and the one that I think you actually gave your first 5 out of 5 for, perhaps, was Warfare. Is that
Yep.
correct? The Ray Mendoza, Alex Garland film from earlier this year. We actually talked to Brad Gullickson of the Comic Book Couples Counseling about it. We'll talk about this and another film on that episode if you guys want to hear us talk about that. But Aaron would know this a lot better than I, but maybe one of the most realistic interpretations of what it's like to be in theater, right? You can talk about this. You just shook your head on a podcast, Aaron. Talk more about the movie.
Sorry, I was Googling something. So which one?
Warfare. I literally am like, Aaron,
Yes.
talk about a movie that you only know about. Of the two people on this show, you're the only one that knows anything about this movie. I asked, it's pretty truthful, and you go,
Oh,
and I shook my head, everybody, if you couldn't
oh my
hear
gosh.
me shake my head.
So well, okay. So yes, sorry. I was looking up something about weapons. Oh man,
We moved on from weapons.
Yeah,
It's
warfare was intense. You know, again, it was one that I went into very, very cautiously, but it was so well done. I mean, just again, soundtrack non-existent. There's one song in the movie, and it was just
It's all
visually-
atmospheric.
yeah, it's all atmospheric visually, and
There is one song, actually. I'm sorry. There is
At the
one
beginning.
song.
yeah.
Yeah. Call on me.
Call on me. Yeah, the aerobic scene. I can't say too much other than if you want the closest experience to like being actually like deployed during the Iraqi war, OEF or OIF, Warfare is the movie to go see. It is absolutely the one to go see because it is realistic. It is intense. It's almost artistic violence. It is just so well done.
I think it absolutely is artistic violence.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A moment in time truly captured to some of the most detailed, like again, scene building, world building, character building, and it's a true story. So, or as close to a true story as you can get.
Right. Yeah. I think Ray Mendoza said this during the press junket, and I think you may have even agree with this during our chat with Brad. It's for people who have been to combat and don't know how to talk to their family or friends or their therapist or whoever, show them this, right? Like this is the way to at least articulate the feeling. Because I think that's what he said in the press junket. He's like, we're not trying to say anything, which is impossible with any movie about war. You are making a statement. So I don't know if that's necessarily, I don't think they necessarily succeeded in that sense. They said something, I think, but they didn't want to say anything. They wanted to articulate a feeling, right?
Yeah.
And I think
nailed
I think they nailed it. Absolutely. So moving on, number 5. So we're in our top 5 here. We have Superman from James Gunn. We talked about it here on the show. Favorite superhero movie of the year. It's a superhero movie. It's not only just a superhero movie that I've always wanted. It's not only the DC movie, Aaron, that I've always wanted. It is the Superman movie that I've always wanted. And I almost, it's a 4.5, but it's as close to a 5 out of 5 for me that, well, no, there's 2 other movies on this. There's a couple other movies on this list that are 4.5s, but it is very close to a 5. This is as good as a superhero movie can get, in my opinion.
Yeah. How many times have you watched it since?
I've seen it 4 times total. So I think I've seen it twice out of theaters. So how about you?
Just the once in theater.
You need to watch it again.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yep.
I want to.
Number 4, barely. It's really close between 5 and 4. Marty Supreme. Maybe this is recency bias, but I just went and saw this recently. Of course, Timothée Chalamet turns in a potentially Oscar nominating performance. Josh Safdie directs the hell out of this movie, and I would not be upset if he gets a Best Picture nomination for this movie. So,
old Timmy C's got a lot. He's got a lot riding in award season. When it comes up, he's got a lot. Timmy C's been killing it.
That and Dune, I think, has earned him one of those as getting a nom for sure. So, and I could Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say not. What was it? What was the musician one that he did? Why can't I remember?
A Complete Unknown. Was that this year? I want to say that. I want to say that was last year. I think that was 2024.
Oh, maybe.
But he won an Oscar for that. He won Best Actor for that. So
okay,
justice for that one. Yeah.
That was So that was last year. I don't know why that felt like it was this year. That's how fast this year has gone by. So, anyways,
right. Number 3, Aaron. This is one that I don't know if you've seen, but I would be interested to hear your thoughts once you eventually see it. It is Eddington by Ari Aster.
Yes.
Did you see it?
Not yet. I got a list, man. I got a list.
Yep. That's okay. This is one that I think escaped a lot of people, and actually it escaped me even when it was in theaters, because it was during chemo and such. But as people know, as many people listening to the show already know, Hereditary is my all-time favorite horror film. Midsommar is one of my favorite movies that came out that year. It's not, but I would say Eddington is probably, I like Eddington more than I like Midsommar.
I was about to say more than Hereditary. How?
No, not more than Hereditary, but it's in the same conversation. This movie is basically what it was like we could show this to our kids in 20 years and be like, this is what it was like to go through COVID.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly that. In this movie, it looks all of us, not just conservatives, not just Democrats. It looks all of us in the face and says, look how silly you were in 2020, and it's really interesting when a movie is not afraid to not only not empathize with its characters, but also to point out hypocrisy and point out the bigger picture, I guess is probably the best way to say it. Right.
Damn. That makes me want to watch it even more now. You are so good at this. You are so good at like putting a movie into a perspective that makes you want to watch it. You're the same way with, you should just be a salesman, man.
I should get a podcast. I think I should probably start a podcast.
I don't see that for you.
We don't need more white dudes with mics, in this world. Number 2 is Sinners. Surprise, surprise. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. They should get all the awards. This movie was very, very closely being this is the closest. This is a 4.75. This is the closest to a 5 that I've never given a 5.
Is this the one I gave a 5 to?
You also gave this a 5 as well, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
So it's incredible. I've seen this movie 4 times as well Warner Brothers, of my top 5, actually of the top 10, there are 1, 2, 3, A24 is not Warner Brothers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the top 10 movies are Warner Brothers. That's crazy. That's really crazy.
They didn't cancel any of those just to be a tax write-off.
Right. And also F1 is right there on the outside. Well, no, that's right. I think that was in a collaboration with Apple TV, but they got distribution from Warner. But point being is Sinners incredible. And then number 1, I think I've already talked about it plenty. One Battle After Another. It's the best movie of the year, in my opinion. I think Leo deserves to be Best Actor. I think Paul Thomas Anderson should get Best Picture and Best Directing, Best Cinematography, Best Script. I think it should sweep. It should get 6 Oscars. And if it doesn't, it'll be blasphemy on the world around us. So
I've seen 4 of your top 10 of the year.
Well, you got plenty to watch then.
Yeah,
so
for the end of the year.
Aaron, we have breached 50 minutes here on the grid. What else should we, we might as well go a cool 1 hour. What else should we talk about in the next 10 minutes?
Well, I'll make my points really quickly.
Okay.
So I finally finished 2 games that I had been wanting to finish for the longest time. One was a game called Dredge. I should have brought up the information about it. If you give me 1 sec, I'll bring it up.
You had 50 minutes. You had 50 minutes to look up the information for Dredge.
I was trying to focus on. So Dredge is a Black Salt Games created property. It's on Nintendo Switch. It's on Steam. It's on plenty of stuff that you could probably find it on just about everything. I think it's even on mobile. But you basically play like a fisherman, and you're like kind of you wake up on a dock in the middle of this like chain of islands, and you're kind of just trying to unravel the mystery of who you are and these dark like figures and people that live on these islands. They're all like, some of these islands are like cold, so there's like ice elements to it. There's one that's like temples and fire and volcanoes, and just very cool. Like there's sea monsters, there's giant whales, and you got to basically fish, find treasure, solve mysteries and puzzles and things like that. And it's just a really fun game. It came out in 2023 actually, and very what would you call it? Lovecraftian.
Oh sure, yeah.
It's a very Lovecraftian theme, very dark, dreary music. The ambience, the art style, very cell shaded. It's beautiful. The game itself is beautiful. The game is fun to traverse. There's multiple endings. There's multiple DLC that were dropped post finishing the game, so you can go ahead and get those very cheap. And it's just a fun game. If you're looking for something fun to pick up and put down, try Dredge, again from Black Salt Games. And then the other one is Spiritfarer, which Spiritfarer is a game that I've owned for multiple years. I want to say it came out in 2020, so at least 4 years. I probably had it 2021, so during COVID. It's by Thunder Lotus Games. It's on multiple platforms. I think I played it on Steam, but you play this young girl, I think her name's Lily, and you have her cat, and you wake up, the game starts, and you are the kind of taken over for Karen, who is the basically the god who ferries souls to the Everdor, which is them passing on, going to the afterlife. And so you basically become the new Spiritfarer. You get your own ship, and as the game progresses, you bring new spirits aboard, and they're all somehow tied to the main character. And it is just probably one of the most heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, like touching games I have ever played. Like that's part of the reason it took me so long to get through it, was because I didn't know if I wanted to sit down and play this like emotionally vulnerable game about like helping spirits pass on. That's a hard subject to approach, and to write this incredible game where, again, you can hug the characters you feed them, you can grow crops, all this stuff. There's so many different things that you can do in this game. And it's all 2D, it's all platformer. It's like a 2D platformer, so it's very simple. There's mini games. There's all these things to gather resources, but it is an incredible game, especially if you love ones with good writing, emotional connections, and I want to say this game got a 10 out of 10 on Steam. It got 84% on Metacritic. It is a top rated game, and it's just a beautiful game. So I highly recommend. I won't give the ending of it away, but just be prepared that when you do decide to go into the end game moments, it is fucking heartbreaking. It's
gonna get a little weepy in here.
It's gonna get a little weepy. It's getting dusty. And then, so those are 2 games I highly recommend. I know they're not 2025 games. Some of the games that have come out this year kind of suck. So I didn't play any of those. However, I will say this, there's 2 shows that I've finished up that I'm just gonna talk about real quick. One is Pluribus, the first season of Pluribus.
Oh, it's finished.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
It is absolutely, like, you do not want to stop watching it. It is incredible. It is about this woman who is the only woman left who is one of a few people left on Earth. 11
people, right?
Something I think there's a total of 12.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
There's a total of 12 people that are not affected by this virus that is basically
like a hive mind kind
like
of.
a hive mind. Yeah. So like the word like pluribus is, e pluribus unum is all for one, basically, like one for many. And so if you think pluribus basically means like kind of like a hive mind, yes, it's all one connected mind. And there's only 11 other people besides this woman who on Earth are immune. And so the entity itself, the virus, is trying to work together using science, using all the resources to figure out how to fix not only the planet, but also fix her to join. And so it is an immense emotional ride because this woman, it delves into, the LGBTQ, what would you call it? Like, it just so many different elements in this woman's life, in these characters' lives. It visits so many different things that we don't necessarily approach, but are just so stupid to keep us, non-unified.
We have a lot of social norms and a lot of problems that are self-inflicting, right?
Yes, and it's so fucking stupid to think that these are the things that we worry about, that set us apart, that keep us like apart from just enjoying what could be a beautiful world and a beautiful life. And it's again, it's such an incredible show that hits on all these different topics in these few people's lives. And I'm just excited to see the character arcs, the stories, everything, like all of it, like even up until the last episode, I'm just like, holy shit, what is going to happen? So that's a really good one.
We should also say that's from the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Vince Gilligan. It's over on Apple TV Plus. So if you have Apple TV Plus, you should be able to watch it. So
yes. And then there's the Copenhagen test with Shimu Liu. I want to say that's on Peacock. That's about a spy or a guy who works at kind of basically there's an organization called the Orphanage that oversees like the CIA, the DEA, like oversees all of our intelligence organizations. Shimu Liu is Simu Liu, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah, it's Simu Liu. Yeah,
Simu Liu. He's an analyst who works on the bottom floor of the orphanage. He wants to be a field agent who works on the top floor or upstairs. But he finds out that he was a part of an experiment to basically turn people into like a broadcast, like a Wi-Fi broadcaster. And somebody has hacked his signal and he has become unknowingly a spy for the enemy.
Okay.
And so like, take that as you will. It's a little bit of science fiction, obviously, but it definitely touches on some real world fears that our intelligence agencies absolutely find to be realistic. And it's again, these things may seem like science fiction, but some of the things they delve on are quite real in this episode. So highly recommend checking out those two as well, because they're really good.
Yeah, it's actually produced by James Wan and it is on Peacock. There are looks like 8 episodes perhaps for the first season, and it's looking like currently it is
season 2 is already approved for Pluribus. I don't know about the Copenhagen test.
It looks like season 2 is going to happen, at least season 2 for Copenhagen. So, all right, I guess final words, everybody. This is what you get on the grid. We usually don't do an hour, but we thought we'd go a little long for, this is what you get each week. Aaron and I will just talk about whatever's in the front of our brain. Sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes there's weeks like this where we talk about a lot. So I had a couple other things I wanted to talk about. I'll just say really briefly. I picked up, I finally got The Art of Daniel Warren Johnson.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The Kickstarter, book. Right?
Yep. It was a Kickstarter and it's beautiful. It's basically just process. It's not only just let me start over. It's not just an art book. It's also like a process book as well for Daniel and his work. And it goes all the way back pre-Extermity to modern day Transformers. So
wow.
It's really, really cool. It's made by Flesk Publications, and it is it's a beautiful art piece that you can put on your shelf and highlight your huge fandom for Daniel Warren Johnson, who Aaron and I have been longtime fans of. And then I also, speaking of Kickstarter, I just recently got I, Doppelganger, which is a portrait of the comic book editor in the 21st century by Shelley Bond. So I haven't really gotten into this yet, but I'm excited to eventually dive into it because Shelley Bond is one of our more decorated editors in comics. And I'm just flipping through it just casually as we're talking here. It's a beautiful, not only is it a beautiful book, but it looks very insightful. And she's getting commentary from people like Gail Simone. And who else is in here? We've got It's like sorry, I'm doing a terrible job. Gerald Way is in here as well. Point being is that it's awesome, and I can't wait to get into it. And the last thing I'll say, Aaron, before we get out of here, is I've been reading Spider-Man from Roger Stern, the late 80s, excuse me, not late 80s, Jesus, late 70s, early 80s, Roger Stern's Spider-Man. About 10 issues in, and I love it. It's interesting. As someone who loves Spider-Man as much as I do, and Aaron, I think you do as well, I haven't read a ton of Spider-Man in the last, I'd say, 5 years. And I don't want to be like the normal incels and be like, oh my gosh, Nick Spencer and Zeb Wells, they all suck. And I haven't read any of the new guy, but I haven't heard anything great about it. So, but I just haven't. I haven't read any of it. I guess that's not true. I read some of Nick Spencer's. I read up to Hunted and then just sort of fell off. But point being is, I wanted to go back and read some of the older stuff. And Aaron, I don't know how much you've read of old Spider-Man, but the Stan Lee, Steve Ditko stuff, it's hard to read in a serialized way. Like you can't read issue on top of issue because these text blocks, when you look at a page of Lee Ditko Spider-Man, you're spending like probably 5 to 7 minutes on that page, compared to like reading comics today where you can read an issue in 7 to 9 minutes. Right. So this Roger Stern series is sort of, they get shorter as time goes on, at least sort of broadly. Like you can read them in a much more serialized way. So everyone that I talk to, like you look up what's a comic run that I should read. Roger Stern's Spider-Man is often, and this is like Spectacular Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man. So it's both of those runs together. They used to run sort of congruently together. This is the one that's often mentioned. So
did you know that Roger Stern was born in Indiana?
I did not. Where does it say he was born at?
Noblesville.
Oh, that's literally that's where I'm going tonight for New Year's is Noblesville. It's about a 10-minute drive northeast. So I did not know that.
Give a little shout out. He's he's not dead, so you can't mourn him.
I'll just yell, Roger, where are you at? We'll talk about Spider-Man. All right, everybody. Again, $5 tier and up gets you this each week from Aaron and I. Your support would mean so much to us. And it's a great way not only to support the show because we put everything back into the show, but again, you get this each week. So from Aaron and I, Happy New Year. We appreciate all you guys being here and listening to this episode. Aaron, anything else before we get out of here? To not only the programs and David, but also the freeloaders this week.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We'll see you back behind the paywall next week for episode 191.